Hey everyone! If you remember from our last RV solar system update, we lost one of our 15 flexible solar panels. And I'm going to show you why that actually means I'm down 3, and a quick fix to get 2 of them back up and running again. I'll also go over how you might be able to rewire a similar system like ours if a solar panel was lost or disconnected in a different location. To give you a better understanding of what's actually going on here, let me tell you how our RV solar system is wired and set up. We have 3 solar controllers. The reason for that being that we have a 12-volt battery bank, and at that battery bank voltage, each controller is rated for 1400 watts. So clearly I have a lot less hooked up to each controller than they're rated for. And the reason for that is I didn't want to run them at max capacity. I thought that was better for longevity. Also, it leaves me with a little bit of room for expansion should we decide to go that route in the future. Anyway, in our control panel here, I have the 3 solar controllers that are labeled for which panels are connected to them. Kitchen side 6, the entry side 6, and the front 3 plus remote. We don't actually have any remote panels. That would be what we would do first if we were to expand our system a little bit. And that would be something like 3 more panels mounted on a stand outside on the ground or next to the trailer somewhere. For our system, every 3 panels are wired together in series, and then every set of 3 are wired together in parallel. So for the 6 panels on the kitchen side and the entry side, 3 are in series, and then they're wired in parallel with the other 3 to that controller. So the front array is just 3 panels. Well, it was anyway, until a tree and interstate speeds had something to say about it. So because these 3 were wired together and then to the controller, losing one completely disconnects that circuit. That's why losing this front panel actually means I'm temporarily down 3 solar panels. So this is actually how I noticed something was wrong in the first place. We had been traveling and were dry camping, and I happened to walk by the panel and I saw that the wattage down from the roof was uncharacteristically low. Because after a year, I've gotten to know our particular ins and outs of our RV solar system pretty well. So you can take it one step further and actually look in the control panel here and see that the front solar controller actually had 0 volts on it completely. Now, you can have 0 watts coming down when the sun is too low to actually charge your batteries at all, but if there's any light at all, you should still see some kind of voltage coming from those solar panels. So I knew something was disconnected. So I went up on the roof and unfortunately noticed the missing solar panel. On to my temporary fix. All I really have to do is connect these 2 solar panels back together to complete the circuit once again. Luckily, all the wiring back to the solar controller is still intact. What I'm left with here is just a couple of torn wires on the panels themselves. It would be a little bit more complicated if I had lost a solar panel on one of my larger arrays, because you want to make sure that the voltage on your series sections is exactly the same as the ones they're wired in parallel with. If I had lost a panel from the kitchen side or the entry side controller, there would be several other options for getting it back up and running again. Because the front controller only has 3 panels in series and not another section connected in parallel, it's easy to make changes to that one. If I had lost a panel further back, I could rewire one of the front panels to that side to give it an even 6 again. Then I'd still have 2 up front, and again, the front controller wouldn't care because it would still operate just fine with the lower voltage of just 2 panels. If you tried that in one of these series parallel areas, the controller would be receiving 2 separate voltages, and just to keep things simple, let's just say that that would be kind of a mess. You don't want that. Quick fix time. I have some of the PV wire that I had used to initially install everything up here, so now I just need to put some new MC4 connectors on this piece to connect these 2 panels together. Now, best practice is to always make sure that your panels are not live when you are physically connecting the wires together, just so you don't damage anything. It's kind of like causing a spark when you connect a battery up. It's best not to do that with solar panels. During my initial install, I got all the wiring in place, and then I actually waited until dusk to connect everything. Alternatively, you could throw a towel over the solar panels that you're trying to wire together before you actually make that connection. And there we have it. You can see right here in the control panel that we are getting wattage down again. You can see the voltage is there. It is a little shaded now, so we're not really getting much, but it's definitely connected. We are back to 14 out of 15 solar panels. Hopefully this gives you an idea how you might be able to do a similar field repair if you find yourself in a similar unfortunate circumstance. You would need to have some spare wire, some spare MC4 connectors, and crimpers on hand to do it. That's all I have for now. If I missed anything or if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If you like this kind of content, please like this video and hit subscribe so you don't miss it when I get a brand new panel to replace that one I lost, and compare it to one of these other flexible solar panels that's been broken in for well over a year now. See you next time.